Hi everyone. Today's video is about the supplement saffron. Saffron is a spice, of course, that's used in certain traditional cooking style types. There have been songs about saffron as well, and it turns out that saffron has actually been subject to quite a few human clinical trials being used to treat a range of different conditions. Quite a lot of research looking at using it to help manage the symptoms of depression for like mild to moderate depression. Some human clinical trials looking at using it for helping to manage ADHD, and also some human clinical trials looking at its use in dementia, including Alzheimer's, and helping to improve neurological function. As per usual, nothing that I'm saying in my video should be construed as medical advice. If you need medical advice, please talk to your healthcare provider to get that advice. Also, if you wouldn't mind quickly liking or sharing or subscribing or posting a quick comment on my video, I really appreciate it. So thanks in advance for taking a second to do that. So with saffron, this came to mind for the video today because I was listening to a webinar that was put out by a fellow named Ari Whitten. Ari Whitten is a health coach and personal trainer, and has I think some other certifications as well. And he's been in the integrative healthcare world for like 20 plus years. Really smart guy, and he has this wonderful podcast. It's called The Energy Blueprint. So highly recommend it. He talks about mitochondrial dysfunction more than I do, and I'm a self-professed mitochondriac. Really think talking about mitochondrial health and the opposite of that, which is mitochondrial dysfunction, really important. And he talks about it, I think, more than anybody that I know, and gets into like just really into the weeds. So I was, again, listening to a webinar. He was covering a lot of topics related to energy production. Of course, mitochondria came up, and it's always good to listen. I always enjoy listening to his material because it's either a good review of things that I already know about, or he'll bring up things that I haven't heard of before. So it's always worth giving his stuff a listen, in my experience. So he was talking about a number of different treatments actually that can be used to help enhance mood, and he mentioned saffron, and it's just a supplement that isn't really talked about a whole heck of a lot. I know when it first came across my radar within the last couple of years, I was really surprised to see that there had been so many human clinical trials on this supplement. It's like, wow, where the heck have I been not knowing about this, or where has saffron been? We were missing each other somehow. So with saffron, I've prescribed it to quite a number of patients. It's certainly not a magic bullet for everyone, but a majority of patients who have gone or have started working with the saffron have reported benefits. Sometimes it's just, my mood's a bit better. Sometimes it's like, where has the saffron been all my life? And it can make a really profound change for some folks. When we look at the human clinical trials, Ari was, having had nice screenshots, like, it'd be handy if I could easily get screenshots into this video, into the videos that I put in. Anyways, he was showing some screenshots of there was actually a systematic review that was done, which is basically like a compilation of a bunch of different studies on the same topic. So it was a systematic review looking at a compilation of the studies done using saffron to help treat folks with depression. Basically the standard dosing is 30 milligrams per day according to those research studies. So it's something where most of the supplement companies out there that put out saffron products, they're usually 30 milligram capsules, sometimes 15 milligrams. There's one company that we found that has 28 milligrams, and so it's all in these increments that can pretty easily get to 30, because again, that's what it seems the majority of the research literature talks about. Of course, in some of the pediatric studies, the dosing's a bit lower. And just to clarify, because some folks, some of my patients, when I've recommended this to them, they say, well, can I just buy some saffron at the store? I know it's an expensive spice, but it's probably going to be cheaper than buying capsules. The supplemental forms of saffron, they are standardized to contain a certain amount of active ingredient. So my understanding is that it is probably going to be therapeutically different. That being said, I haven't come across any studies where they've used just dietary saffron in contrast to the supplement and see how they pan out. So maybe they're equally effective. Maybe the stuff from the spice section would work better, but the research literature is all based on these standardized extracts of saffron. Generally, in my experience, it's been well tolerated, and as far as I've been able to tell based on the digging that I've done, looking for any interactions between saffron and other medications or supplements that have an impact on neurotransmitter health, and whatnot. I haven't been able to find any compelling evidence to suggest that there would be notable interaction. So, for example, we have to be careful with something like 5-HTP, 5-hydroxytryptophan, because it's a precursor to serotonin. And if folks are already on medications that boost up their serotonin, we want to be a bit careful with, say, supplementing with 5-HTP, because we don't want to add to create too much serotonin, because that can cause serotonin syndrome, and that's really bad. Just as an example, that's kind of a type of interaction we need to look out for. With Saffron, it seems to play nicely with other things, but of course, as per usual, should talk to your healthcare provider to get advice about what's the best fit for you. So yeah, just wanted to create a little video about Saffron. I think it's kind of a lesser known supplement, but if you're watching this video and you have tried Saffron, or you know someone who has, or your child has, or you have some insight in terms of how someone has done with Saffron, and if you don't mind sharing in the comment section, please let us know how the Saffron has affected you. Did it help? Did it not make a difference? Did you find that did the standard recommendation work for you? Did you need a lower dose because you were sensitive to it? Did you need a higher dose because it was, lower dose didn't seem to work quite as well, but a higher dose did? One of the challenging things with, or maybe not challenging, but one of the things to be aware of when we look at research literature is, all these studies using 30 milligrams. Is that because there was some grand study that was done initially that showed 30 milligrams is the best dose? No, researchers would have picked 30 milligrams as a dose. Hey, it works. Other researchers come along, let's replicate this data. What dose did they use? 30 milligrams, and it worked. Okay, let's do 30 milligrams. And then all the researchers do 30 milligrams. That's a standard part of scientific process. But how does 60 milligrams work? How does 50 milligrams work? How does 49 milligrams work? These are things that we don't necessarily know unless they do further studies kind of looking into this. So far, we've generally stuck with the 30 milligrams in my practice, but there may be other clinicians out there who have used different dosages. So anyways, anything you feel compelled to share in the comment section, please feel free. I look at the comments. I know other folks look at the comments. Sometimes we get some good conversations going on in there depending on the topic. So please feel free to post. Otherwise, if you have any questions on this topic or on anything else, just post in the comment section below and I will do my best to answer as soon as I can.